There are moments and times when I feel inadequate. There are moments and times when I feel, oh my goodness, this is not going to happen the way I want it to happen. And that sometimes can then create feelings of fear and anxiety.
Welcome to Braving It, a show I am so excited about purely because we are talking everything that resonates with who I am. I am going to be engaging in brave conversations with people who have said yes to brave conversations. And so I have a person who has said yes. I'm introducing to you Bongani Mageba. He is a wonderful human being, and I can't wait for you to get to meet him just in the same way that I've met him. And so, Bongani, thank you for braving it, and thank you for saying yes.
Thank you very much.
So, Bongani, you completed your LLB at the UKZN. You then did your MBA through Gibbs. And then after that, you completed a general management program with Harvard Business School.
Yeah.
And then you went on to do your investment strategies and portfolio management course at the University of Pennsylvania in the USA.
Yeah.
And now you are completing your doctorate. Skolko is what we say.
Yeah.
Wow, what a man. Okay, so I'm still going on. Professionally, you from as far back as the 90s have been assuming executive positions within massive corporates in the country. Corporates such as Unilever, SAB, Edcon, Ellerines, Stanlib. As the MD of retail investments, you then moved on to Liberty and are now at APSA, and you are the managing exec for the non-banking financial services.
That's correct.
Sure, a mouthful. You have done a lot with your life.
It's been a long journey.
It's been a long journey, hey? Yeah. Is this, something like this, it strikes me as the kind of thing, this is why this whole thing makes so much sense. Because when I met you a few years back, you were at Stanlib. And you were focused then, and I'm so glad to see that you're focused now. Surely, your upbringing had a lot to do with the focused person that you are today. If not, do you believe that all of that is just an innate ability that you have?
Look, I think certainly, you're spot on. From my perspective, certainly my upbringing had a lot to do with it. I had very focused parents as well, so I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
So, there's a saying, I think it's a Nigerian proverb that a calf watches the cow eat. So you've almost got to see it somewhere, generally speaking. But I think over and above that, though, I've, of course, the opportunities that I've had have shaped me. But there is no doubt that I've also got on to make something of myself.
Yeah.
Because there is that element. You can't escape from that. So
100%.
you've got to make certain choices. That obviously put you in a particular position and help you get to where you want to get to. So amongst the negative ones, I guess I've made some positive ones.
a lot of positive ones. Okay.
So that's how I would look at it. Yeah.
Wow. Obviously, in your day-to-day, you shoulder a lot of responsibility. You have several people reporting into you. You're managing big budgets, massive, big decisions that you're making on a regular. It's hard to believe that someone like yourself struggles with any of those human emotions that nobody wants to talk about. The shame, the anxiety, the fears. Do you, in your everyday, day-to-day delivery at work, struggle with any one of these aspects that I've just touched on?
Yeah, I'm generally an optimist. So I always move off the premise that something can be done and something should be done. And I wake up every morning with the perspective that, I'll succeed. And that's how I prepare myself for each day. And of course, that's got to be done consistently. But absolutely, as a human being, I do suffer from some of these feelings. There are moments and times when I feel inadequate. There are moments and times when I feel, oh my goodness, this is not going to happen the way I want it to happen. And that sometimes can then create feelings of fear and anxiety. But absolutely, I have to deal with those. But having said that, I also believe that most emotions are there to be understood and managed. So one of the key skills that I try and build and I've built is to understand where the emotion is coming from.
Okay.
And how I can then manage it. But it doesn't mean that I don't go through it. I still go through that emotion, but then I would often take an opportunity to actually, why am I feeling this way? Is there something I have done, something I can do something about? And then how do I manage it? Because that's the emotion that I have at that point in time.
Yeah.
How do I manage it? How do I then get over that emotion? Because on the one hand, whilst it's important to go through emotion, you don't want it to be with you for a prolonged or unnecessary time.
Yes.
Because emotions are actually not bad.
I suppose it's also about, you rightly put it, identifying them, managing them. But the managing them part, is it about deliberately seeking the help that you need in order to manage them? Is it about, how do you seek the help that you need? How have you mastered the art of managing your emotions? Is it a program that you were on? People you've spoken to?
So, and you're absolutely right. There are possibly two schools of thought. There are people who think that emotions work themselves out. Time heals, that saying. But quite frankly, most of the time you actually have to be deliberate in managing the emotion. And how I deal with it is I take the opportunity personally to reflect. I reflect a lot, by the way. I reflect on my actions, my thought process, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. And I spend a lot of time doing that. But besides that, I also have people that I talk to. I also have people that I engage with, people that I can debrief and also bounce certain emotions with them, certain thoughts with them, just to get their input. Obviously, those are people that I've built relationships of trust and understanding. Then I use them, to say, look,
sounding board.
Absolutely, this is how I'm feeling about this. Am I over exaggerating my emotions? Or is this something that I need to deal with? And I found it absolutely useful.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I should play that role for a number of people as well. So I have people who call me, engage with me. I mentor also a few people. So, and they say, look, this is what's happening in my life. How should I deal with it? And often for me, it's important to have that ability to channel emotions. So the management of emotions, by the way, sometimes not even that they disappear, because some of them actually you can't make them disappear immediately.
You learn to live with them.
But it's also channeling them, so that they can be extracted or at least become useful at the time when it's necessary. When they're going to debilitate you, then we've got to shut them down at that point.
Sure.
But it is absolutely useful that the management of emotions really is about channeling. If they happen to disappear at a certain point, that's great. But actually, a large part of it is about channeling the emotions. Saying, okay, at this point in time, they're not useful for what I'm about to do or what I'm doing. Or at this point in time, it's fine for me to have the emotion. So, and I've learned that over the years.